Hey guys, welcome back to Cereal at Midnight. My name is Heath, and this is our monthly look at everything coming out from Kino Lorber and Kino Lorber's partner labels for the month of September 2024. There's almost 36 titles here. I think there's 33 movies. There's some TV in here too, but like 33 different titles included. There's a box set, but for some labels and distributors, this would be a year's output. This is 1 month from Kino Lorber, so there's so much ground to cover. Thanks to Kino Lorber for sending these to me. I'm on 2 of these releases. I've done commentaries for 2 of these, so we'll talk about that. We've got 5 4Ks debuting this month in this stack. Let's just go ahead and launch into it. If this is your first one of these videos, which it may be, but probably not, but if it is, you should know that we're going to go through these relatively quickly because this is a lot of titles and I haven't seen some of them. So I can only talk about what I have seen and what I know about. Reviews always pop up later. Whenever I write reviews, they go to CerealAtMidnite.com. They go to my Letterboxd. They go to the critics section of IMDb. So this is not the last. This is actually the beginning of the conversation for these movies. The conversation continues later. So let's talk about the Kino Cult releases number 15. And number 16, I'll do these in order. Both of these are in 4K. Number 15 is The Antichrist, a 1974 film. Pretty sure this is had a Blu-ray from Kino Lorber. This is the 4K. That does have the Blu-ray included. I've already flipped around. I've just went through these before I hit record, and I flipped around. Anything that had reversible art, I flipped it. So if you don't see it, it didn't have it. But this does, right? For the Tempter. The Tempter. This is, let's see, show you what we got here. The 2 discs, the 4K and the Blu-ray. We've got audio commentary by Lee Gambin, and I'm realizing how I knew that Lee Gambin was prolific, but I'm realizing just how prolific he is because, I mean, we've got multiple commentaries from him for months since his unfortunate passing, and may he rest in peace. But seriously, he's leaving. We're still getting new work from him, so it's incredible. And him and film critic Sally Christie. Raising Hell, that's a featurette with co-writer Alberto De Martino and composer Ennio Morricone. What did that guy ever do? That's a joke, by the way. So people don't pick up on my sarcasm or my sense of humor. The Tempter opening credits and TV spots, and then the original English and Italian audio. Then I set this to the side. I know that we've already gotten a Blu-ray of Zoltan, Hound of Dracula. Albert Band, directed by Albert Band. That's Charles Band's dad. And but if you've read Charles Band's book, it seems like such an interesting childhood because he grew up with his father as this director making movies like everywhere, but a lot in Europe. And this is fun. This is it's a 1977 film, just in time for Halloween, right? We've got Michael Pataki, Reggie Nalder, and Jose Ferrer. Hey! Mel Ferrer, Jose Ferrer. Let's see. This has an audio commentary by Lee Gambin and John Harrison. Dracula's Dog radio spot in the theatrical trailer. There is your alternate artwork. This is a combo, right? Yeah, 4K and a Blu-ray combo pack. So it's safe. If you aren't 4K capable yet, this is a safe pickup for you. That's the Kino Cult titles. These are other 4Ks. Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express. This is the 74 version of this. This is when what's his name? Kenneth Branagh did his version, and he's doing all these Agatha Christie movies now that feel very like for the now. They feel very updated and very CGI and all that stuff. But this is the one that's hard to top. This is the one that is secure in people's mind, a lot of people's mind, as being sort of the best adaptation. Albert Finney, Lauren Bacall, Martin Balsam, Ingrid Bergman, Jacqueline Bisset, Jean-Pierre Cassel, Sean Connery, John Gielgud, Wendy Hiller, Anthony Perkins, Vanessa Redgrave, Rachel Roberts, Richard Widmark, Michael York. This is it's directed by Sidney Lumet. It's got an audio commentary by Howard S. Berger, Steve Mitchell, and Nathaniel Thompson. We've got the making of Murder on the Orient Express, interview of the producer, Richard Goodwin, Agatha Christie, a portrait, and the theatrical trailer. I just realized I'm not reading the restoration notes to you guys. Well, these don't have them. These have no restoration notes. They come from Studio Canal, both of these. Kino Cults come from Studio Canal. This comes from Paramount. You guys know all about it because they just interviewed Charlotte Barker, who is the director of restoration and preservation for Paramount, and she told us a lot of how, let's go say how the sausage is made. That seems like a weird metaphor to use about movies, but you get it. You know what I'm trying to say. So this is a brand new HDR Dolby Vision Master from a 4K scan of the 35mm original camera negative. Best case scenario. So, no alternate artwork here, but for a fantastic movie, we've got a commentary, and it's never looks so good. And if you're waiting for 8K, you see my interview with Charlotte. Well, that's not happening. This is the best this movie's going to look. The Lady Killers. This is the Ealing comedy classic with Alec Guinness. If you only know Alec Guinness, I'm realizing there are a whole lot of people who only know when James Earl Jones passed away. Rest in peace, James Earl Jones. The Darth Vader thing, man. People were like, "Oh, Vader's gone." I'm like, that was like one thing he did in what, like a 70-year career or something like that. And so I think the same may be true for Alec Guinness. People only know him for his Kenobi, as Ben Kenobi. But man, the Ealing comedies, this is absolutely classic. So Alec Guinness, Cecil Parker, Herbert Lom, Peter Sellers, and Danny Green in The Lady Killers. Did this have alternate art? No alternate art here. But it's got an audio commentary by David Del Val. That's on the 4K and on the Blu-ray. It's got an audio commentary by Philip Kemp on both discs. The 1/66 framed version of The Lady Killers. That's it's got two versions. It's got the 1/37 and the 1/66. You guys see this down here. So 2 aspect ratios to choose from. Forever Ealing, a documentary. We've got Cleaning Up the Lady Killers featurettes, interview with Alan Scott, Ronald Harwood, and Terrence Davies. Or did you pronounce it Davis? Because I know that there's I'm gonna say Davis. Davies, like Ray Davies, right? Isn't it properly pronounced Ray Davis? Because it's like a Welsh thing. Russell T. Davies, the guy from Doctor Who. I think it's Davis, Russell T. Davis. Theatrical trailer. Boy, you guys are going to have a field day with that one. That's going to get more comments than anything in this video. Certainly any talk about the movies is the pronunciations. Pronunciations always get the most notes. Hey, let's talk about a bunch of movies. Well, I'd rather talk about how you pronounce this word. Link, Elizabeth Shue, Terrence Stamp. It's a little salty, but you know what? It's true. A Richard Franklin film. Did this have? Nope, no alternate artwork here. Been a long time since I've seen this movie. An Experiment in Terror. Elizabeth Shue and Terrence Stamp co-star in the suspenseful horror film directed by Richard Franklin for Road Games FX1 and 2. No, just FX2. And featuring a chilling score by legendary composer Jerry Goldsmith. It's monkey horror. It's chimpanzee horror. And we've got an audio comment. Lee Gambin, again, film critic Jarrett Gahan. Deleted work print scenes, audio interview with the director, Jerry Goldsmith, demo of the Link theme, theatrical trailers, spots, boom. Film noir, the dark side of cinema, 21. I love this series, and I got to contribute to volume 20 with my commentary for Appointment with Danger. And this has got Cloak and Dagger in it with me and Max Allan Collins. So let's talk about that one first. This is a Fritz Lang film from 1946 and audio commentary by Heath Holland, host of the Serial at Midnight podcast. And I will say this, I did a commentary with Amanda Reyes for part 1 of The Martian Chronicles, which just got announced. The Rock Hudson, the expansive TV miniseries from the 70s. And I'm on part 1 of that. And someone has, Kino Lorber obviously watches these videos, but I was saying, like, one day they'll call, like, how about film historian or TV historian or whatever? They credited me as TV historian. Television historians Amanda Reyes and Heath Holland. And that felt good because they want to support the podcast. They want to support Serial at Midnight because obviously I'm talking about all these releases. But boy, that film historian and TV historian feels real good. And that's the lane to go down. Host of Serial at Midnight podcast, that's me. And Max Allan Collins, the author of Road to Perdition. Max Allan Collins returning to Serial at Midnight soon with a new movie. He's made another movie. 2020 HD Master by Paramount Pictures. Again, check out the interview with Charlotte Barker. From a 4K scan, this is essentially Oppenheimer, way before Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer right after World War II, 1946. It's Gary Cooper, who is just... when I first started digging into older movies, Gary Cooper seemed sort of wooden to me. He seemed very like they use the term Lincoln-esque to describe somebody who's kind of stoic. But I don't think that's true. The more I have delved into his career, the more I appreciate Gary Cooper as one of the greats. But we talk about that in the commentary because he was so casual about the films and he didn't seem to feel any sort of pressure, or, one of his co-stars talks about, just another day at the job for Gary. But there's a lot going on here. This is about it's sort of a spy story it's an espionage story wrapped in science and real war technology, and then we can get into like Blacklist stuff too, because that's all here. But you gotta listen to the commentary for that. So that is one of the three films. The next one is Shack Out on 101, a film I have never seen, but I have wanted to see for a while. Just that title, Shack Out on 101, is a great title. This has Terry Moore, Frank Lovejoy, Keenan Wynn, and Lee Marvin. And it's got a commentary by Jason A. Nye, who is just a solid film scholar, film historian, professor, teacher, and noir expert as well. This has got a 2021 HD master by Paramount Pictures from a 4K scan. And Shortcut to Hell, Robert Ivers, Georgianne Johnson. This has a 2023 scan from a 4K scan by Paramount. Audio commentary by Gary Girani, film historian and screenwriter Gary Girani. And the theatrical trailer featuring director James Cagney. Not going to do the "you dirty rat" thing. He never said "you dirty rat," right? That's one of those things that is apocryphal. Like, we attribute certain quotes to certain actors. I don't think he said "you dirty rat." You dirty rat. You killed my brother. That's the joke. But I don't think he said that. Anyway, fancy. Cagney's the best. And this is a must-have. Obviously, because I'm on it, you want it, right? This is a must-have, but it's also got two other great movies. That's a good one. You're going to want that one. Rolling Vengeance. This is a new release of a film that I'm pretty sure we have had on Blu-ray before, but when they do these, nobody's told me this, and well, they have, but this is me talking. This is not anybody to distributor or studio. When these licenses get picked back up, so there might be a deal for a movie that lasts for 2 years. Hey, we're going to license this movie for a couple of years. That license ends. The money's been made. It goes back to whoever else. And either somebody else can come in and pick that license up, or the studio's like, we're going to retract that license. It's not available anymore. Or they put it out themselves. Sometimes you see a distributor like Kino Lorber say, we're going to license it again. We haven't had it for a couple of years. Let's license it again, see how it does. When they do that, and some people get really mad, like they have to buy it just because it's been put out again. But that's why it happens. Is because, it did all right the first time. Let's do it again. They'll usually add a commentary or a better audio track, or they'll do, if it was on a Blu-ray, a 25 gigabyte Blu-ray disc, they'll put it on a 50, so it's less compressed. So, there's really no reason to get upset, but I still see, and maybe by even talking about it, I'm feeding the beast too much. But these are things that I see. As a collector, I see this a lot. There's no reason to be upset at anybody. This is just business. And it's good because people that want this movie and don't already have it, they get to buy it. They get to have it. This is a... did this have an alternate? No alternate cover here. And no restoration notes either. This comes from MGM. Audio commentary by Paul Karup of the Canucksploitation.com site, and film historian Jason Pichonsky, in an interview with actor Lawrence Dane. So I've seen it. I don't really remember it, to be honest with you. Avenging Force, Michael Dudikoff. This is a fun Cannon film. Cannon's great. You see my interview with Austin Trunick, the author of the Cannon Film Guide, who's through 2 volumes of a 3-volume cycle on basically the exhaustive history of Cannon films. And he's been here twice. This is, let's see, it's directed by Sam Furstenberg, who did a lot of American International Cannon films. This is an audio commentary by Sam Furstenberg and star Michael Dudikoff, an intro by Sam Furstenberg, and an interview with Michael Dudikoff. No alternate art. Burn, Witch, Burn. This is another one that I'm pretty sure I haven't, full disclosure, like I didn't go back and be like, Has this been released before? I'm pretty sure. I'm just going from memory here, so always do your own independent research. Brand new HD master by Studio Canal from a 4K scan of the original camera negative. This hair-curling horror masterpiece is ablaze with vile voodoo and malicious magic. There's two versions of the movie here. There's the theatrical cut, which is 89 minutes, and then there's the alternate cuts. The UK is the original, right? And then the US, it's the UK and the US cuts. So one of them is Burn Witch Burn. The other is Knights of the Eagle. We've got audio commentary by Tim Lucas. We've got an audio commentary by Richard Matheson, the screenwriter. That's a big deal. This is American International. That's why you see how brain worked. This was canon, and I said American in it because I knew this. I saw this was next. We've got an interview with actor Peter Wingard, which is great, and theatrical trailers. John Travolta, 1991, Chains of Gold. I have not watched this yet. I know really nothing about it. We got Joey Lawrence there, and let's see who else in here. Mary Lou Henner. Oh wow, Bernie Casey. What? Who's the Martian Chronicles? Hector Elizondo and Joey Lawrence as Tommy. Let's see. This is directed by Rod Holcomb. Who wrote this? Written by John Petz and Linda Favila and Anson Downs. All right. I don't know a whole lot about this. It's a hard-hitting story of a teenage boy who's made a big mistake, and the one man really willing to risk everything to keep that mistake from being fatal. I'm trying so hard to keep this video fast and, not 45 minutes long. Did this have alternate light? No. This is in that era between peak Travolta and then the Renaissance with Pulp Fiction. Like he's doing Look Who's Talking and stuff like that. This is a very interesting time in his career. This sounds cool. This is another one. I don't even know if I've heard of this movie before. This is First Love with William Catt, an actor who I really admire, and Susan Day. 2021 HD master from Paramount, from the original 35mm original camera negative. And we've got an audio commentary by William Catt and Lee Gambin. So Lee, was that 4? Is that 4 just in this month alone? Have you guys seen this one? I don't know. I realize I'm not holding the back of the box up for a lot of these for you guys. Below the Belt. This looks amazing. Of course, I love, especially old school wrestling. I don't follow anymore, but I love like my old school arena wrestling stuff. And it's a 1980 movie. It's a gritty and humorous drama about the life on the road of a female professional wrestler in the tradition of Rocky and Fat City, suggested by the novel To Smithereens by Rosalind Drexler, who wrestled as the Mexican Spitfire. It's a realistic and moving take on highs and lows of life on the mat. So we've got an audio commentary by Dave Meltzer, editor of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. He's like the guy, when they talk about, he's the wrestling pundit, I think. So I'd be really interested to see. Is he just going to talk numbers the whole time? Because so much of what Dave Meltzer talks about is like reports and numbers and like, going back to, he's like an analyst. He's he analyzes the trends and stuff. I would be really interested. So I gotta listen to that now. See, I don't listen to a lot of audio commentaries now that I do them because you don't want people. You want to maintain your own style. But I'm gonna have to check this one out. Did this have? No, has no alternate artwork there. This is who? Hold on, who directed this? Let's see if we directed by Robert Fowler, and it was written by Robert Fowler and Sherry Sonnet. We got 2 Alan Ladd films. We've got Red Mountain and we've got Botany Bay. Commentary by yours truly on Botany Bay. Let's talk about Red Mountain first, though. So this is a William Dieterle directed film. It's Alan Ladd, it's Elizabeth Scott, it's Arthur Kennedy, John Ireland. Incredible. Paramount has been... I'm trying to think of an adjective. Like, they have been... I've already used incredible, so I can't use it again. They've been extremely prolific by getting Alan Ladd films restored and out. We have gotten, because I'm an Alan Ladd fan, we have gotten, I don't know, at least a dozen Alan Ladd films in the last year or two. Maybe more films than that. It's a lot. Like a lot of his Paramount films were not available in HD, and now they are. And for guys like me who love, people like me who love westerns and historical adventures and swashbucklers, I mean, this is great. This is a great time. And the arc of his career, so this is 1951, Botany Bay is 1953, but these are all around the same time, because I'll tell you, Botany Bay is one of those movies that he made near the end of his time at Paramount, and just like Red Mountain. And then the studio vaulted it for a while. For a lot of Alan Ladd movies would sit in a vault for at least a couple of years for various reasons. They'd film a bunch and then they go in the vault and they're like, well, we'll release that when just they bank them. And so anyway, I'm just tremendously excited that we have this now on disc, that we were able to see this in HD. We're able to own it. Commentary by film historian Sam Deegan, and of course, Botany Bay. Oh, hold on. 2021 HD master by Paramount Pictures from a 4K scan of the RGB nitrates original negatives, stained by the blood. Oh, see, if you look, this sentence looks like it continues here, but it's not. It's because they're both in bold, right? I was gonna say this has been stained. They stained the transfer. For more insight onto how these films are restored and saved, again, I'll reference you to my interview with Paramount's Charlotte Barker. The opinions expressed are her own. She does not speak for Paramount. She speaks for herself and her work. Botany Bay, get the Star Trek jokes out of the way. When I announced this, first of all, I campaigned for this movie to be released because I love Alan Ladd. Nobody talks about this movie. And here's what I realize now. Nobody has any idea what the Botany Bay is. It's not a ship in Star Trek. I mean, it is a ship in Star Trek, but that's a historical reference. It'd be like if there was an episode of Star Trek where there's the Mayflower, all right? And the people are like, oh, Mayflower, Star Trek. Like, no, but that's a thing. That's a real thing. The Botany Bay was the ship that brought prisoners from England to Australia. When Australia was first being colonized, it was like the ship, the main prison ship that brought over convicts. And that's the history of Australia. And I guess people don't know that. And so when you see Star Trek and Khan has a group of prisoners on a ship called the Botany Bay, that is a reference to real history. But I guess they don't teach history anymore. I don't know what's good. So anyway, I had a blast doing the commentary for Botany Bay. It's a very good film that not enough people are talking about. You've got Alan Ladd, you've got James Mason, you've got Patricia Medina, who is coming off of a whole bunch of swashbuckler roles. That's she's a spitfire, really, and she's great in this movie. This movie it goes to a lot of surprising places. I'm going to limit it there because I could just talk for 30 minutes about Botany Bay, but then you need to check this out. You will want to buy this and add it to your collection because it's a really good movie. So, it's 1953. Did I say that? Yeah, because we were talking about how it got held for a while. So anyway, highly recommended because I'm on it. But I love it. I actively lobbied for this movie to get a Blu-ray release. So I'm really glad that I got to be on it when it did get a Blu-ray release. My Favorite Spy, Bob Hope and Hedy Lamarr. I watched this. This is the third, I think, of Bob Hope's My Favorite movies. He did 3 across like 10 years or so, maybe a little more than that. And it's fun. It's I don't love it. I think it's clear I don't love it, right? But it's fun. It's one of those double movies, like, he looks like a bad guy. There's a spy, and Bob Hope looks like the spy. He's a very suave, sophisticated bad guy. And then that guy gets taken out of commission and like, well, let's send this guy in. He's like a vaudeville style clown. And they send him in to pretend to be, so it's that thing where and then there's the confrontation, right? Where it's Bob Hope versus Bob Hope. It's the same thing with Jerry Lewis and Elvis movies and Jean-Claude Van Damme getting 2 roles from one actor. Hedy Lamarr is, I'm just not going to say that because it's kind of a spoiler. But anyway, 2020 HD master by Paramount Pictures from a 4K scan. And we've got a commentary by film historian, writer Julie Kurgo, and writer-filmmaker Peter Hankoff. It's fun. it is a fun movie, and look, any Bob Hope is better than no Bob Hope, right? And it's Hedy Lamarr. Hold on, there's other people in here too, right? Oh, it's got an interesting cast. Let's see. Fatal Vision. We still have like half the stack here. This is a Carl Malden film with Eva Marie Saint, Barry Newman, Gary Cole, and Andy Griffith from 1984. We got audio commentary by film historian and filmmaker Daniel Kramer. Brand new HD master from a 4K scan of the original camera negative. This is coming from Universal. It's an NBC production, so this is a TV movie. I've not seen this. I would love to know what Amanda Reyes thinks about this movie. Although it's not really genre. She's more a genre fan. Brigitte Bardot. Okay, just celebrated her 90th birthday. I think it was 90. She's still with us. We have 3 new Blu-rays of Brigitte Bardot films and sort of a box set. So first we have Naughty Girl from 1956. It's very young. I think there's a review for this. I wrote a review for this as soon as I watched it at CerealAtMidnite.com. Heath editing this, if you remember, link to that review in the comments or in the description, and pin it to the top of the comments too. It is interesting to see. Oh, this is directed by let me find his name. Barbarella guy. It's not directed by him. It's written by him. Okay, Sofradis presents Brigitte Bardot in a film by Michael Boisrond. Where is the writer? You guys know who I'm talking about. Roger Vadim. Good grief. This is why it's hard to do these videos, because you have to be able. You're juggling like 33 balls, and you have to do justice to each one of those, or you drop it. So Roger Vadim, my American, is Roger Vadim. Was transfixed by her. I believe they were married at the time, and he saw her appeal. But she wasn't yet an icon. She'd been in some bit parts, and she was rising up as a sex symbol. So it's 1956, and she is the title Naughty Girl. That's the American title. The French title translates to something completely different. And she's not naughty. She's innocent. She's done nothing wrong. She's like the annoying, sexy girl who this guy is in charge of taking care of. And his fiance is like, well, what's all this then? And he's like, I don't know. And it's a comedy, and it's fun, and it's very light, and I really enjoyed it, especially because it's a innocent, like, she's really spunky and fun in the film. We got audio commentary by Sam Deegan. Le Film 1969 trailer. Well, Le Film is here, but that's 69. Let's talk about 1967's 2 weeks in September 1st. This is Bardot at the heights of her powers, I believe. This is a, let's see. You know what? I'm not even going to go into all that. So it's 1967. We've got an audio commentary by Adrian Martin, and the Le Film trailer. So Le Film is 1969, and I think she retired in 73. I think that's right. Audio commentary by critic Manuela Lezik, and a theatrical trailer. This is basically, it's a great time to be a Bardot fan because we're getting these films in HD. Some of them have been hard to see. They've been very difficult to find. And here, I realize I'm not, because I'm pushing so hard to get this done, I'm neglecting to show you the details. As a fan of these movies, it's great to have them on Blu-ray. But there's this DVD box set too. This is 4 films. It's got Naughty Girl, 2 weeks in September, Le Film. But it also has Please Not Now, which Kino Lorber put out on Blu-ray, I think, January of 2024. And this is sort of it's an economical set because it's 4 films on 2 DVDs. But they've carried over the commentaries. And is there anything else? Trailers and commentaries. They've carried them all over. 347 minutes, 1956 to 1969. So if you just want to see the movies affordably, if you're one of the people who don't have Blu-ray, which you're probably not watching this channel, I don't know, but maybe, I don't want to assume, maybe you are. DVD still outsells everything else. So that's probably ironically, this is probably gonna sell better than the other three, maybe combined. It's just a guess. Nobody tells me their numbers, but DVD outsells everything 3-1. Madness, Fernando de Leo. This is a Raro video title. I'm not sure if this has been released before. I know I've got quite a bit of De Leo in my collection. Tarantino loves Fernando de Leo. He's one of the great Italian crime. Just saw the back of it. One of the great Italian crime filmmakers. This is 1980. We've got a commentary by Troy Howarth, and that's it. Commentary and trailers. Just did not have alternate artwork. I'm glad that Raro Video has partnered with Kino Lorber, because as someone who loves Italian cinema, beyond spaghetti westerns, when you get it, and even giallo, when you get into things like crime films, comedies, whatever, Raro was really there with the content, but I don't know exactly what happened, but the release schedule got further and further. Like, it was like 2 years at some point between releases. And then there's some quality issues that were bothering people. Since they've partnered with Kino Lorber, I mean, it's multiple releases in every year. 6 or more releases in each given year, so that's great. It's been a good move for all of us, I think. From the Milestone Cinematheque, we have The Dragon Painter. This is a silent film from 1919. This is a 2023 4K digital restoration by the San Francisco Silent Film Festival, I Film Museum, and George Eastman Museum. The film was photochemically restored by AFI in 1988. However, this new restoration features recently discovered additional footage located at I Film Museum in Amsterdam that greatly enhances the storyline. Okay, so we've got 2 scores for The Dragon Painter. We've got Reconstructing the Dragon Painter, which runs 66 minutes. So that's substantial. His Birthright, 1918, 47 minutes, starring Sesu Hayakawa, which is the star of The Dragon Painter. And The Man Beneath, that's a 1919 film, 66 minutes, starring Sesu Hayakawa. And then an illustrated booklet. So that's 3 films. It's great. I've talked at length about, discovering silent films is... It's not something that I recommend you just jump right into, but when you start to dig into older movies, the further you go back, the more you realize these early films are powerful. They're fantastic. This is a beautiful booklet. Okay. This is a series. This is from Megahertz. All right, Megahertz. Anyway. It's a French, based on the best-selling novel by Dolores Redondo. All This I Will Give to You is a thrilling French mystery set on a gorgeous wine estate. Basically, there's a car accident, this wealthy person dies, and the people that he leaves behind start to ask questions. I have not watched it. This is what I gather from reading the back of the box. There's tension among them, and they start to uncover that the person that was killed might have been more mysterious than they realized. So I believe it's 6 episodes. It's a 2 DVD set, episodes 1 through 3, and then 4 through 6. A lot of French television getting, and French movies too, getting released through Kino Lorber. Sorry Not Sorry, from the New York Times. This is a documentary about Louis C.K., his bad behavior, his bounce back. Through candor and surprising humor, Sorry Not Sorry sheds light on the nuanced experiences of 3 women who spoke up about comedian Louis C.K.'s misconduct over the years by re-examining his behavior and his unprecedented comeback, along with the testimonies of the women. This documentary invites viewers to question whose stories and whose art we value and at what cost. I see Michael Ian Black here. He's not listed in the cast list, but I'm sure, obviously I haven't watched this yet. That sounds interesting. It's an interesting question. It's an interesting premise. How to Come Alive with Norman Mailer, a cautionary tale. Alyssa Wilkinson of the New York Times says, hits on an ingenious structure that avoids hagiography. It's a nice use of hagiography. Even as it includes friends and family, what emerges as a portrait of a man is often at war with himself as with his family, friends, and countrymen, driven relentlessly towards machismo and always spoiling for a fight. And for those who don't know his work, it's a worthy introduction to studying how not to live, but also how to come alive. I mean, that sells it really, really well. That sounds cool. Obviously, Norman Mailer is one of the great 20th century authors. There's no features here, so set that over here. Going to Mars, the Nikki Giovanni project. This is a documentary about the, let's see, shortlisted for an Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature, and winner of the Sundance Grand Jury Prize. It's a beguiling documentary portrait that follows poet and activist Nikki Giovanni as she approaches 80. We've got additional scenes and a trailer, and this is a DVD. Mom and Dad's Nipple Factory. So again, almost dropped it. Do you see that catch? It was like, what? It's like I was in the Matrix. When Randy, I hate to read from the back, but sometimes it's just the best thing to do if I don't know anything about it. When Randy's diagnosed with breast cancer, her introverted husband, Brian, is a traditional family man, transforms their modest Midwest home into a secret prosthetic nipple laboratory, an act of love that blossoms into a truly unexpected business, kept hidden from their church, small town community, and 5 unsuspecting children. So what's interesting is, it's interesting that he creates this business, but that then they kept it secret from everybody, including their kids. That's sounds interesting. From Redemption, we have 13 Notes in Red. This is a French, they describe this as a French giallo. Here. That cover is going to sell. I know you guys. That cover is going to sell some of you guys. So you guys just bought this based on the cover. Stylish, gore-filled French giallo. After a seemingly drunken evening, Charlotte wakes up in the middle of the night on her bed. She has no memory of the last few hours, then hears her flatmate being violently attacked in her room. Charlotte is now alone with a murderous intruder who accuses her of stealing his most prized possession. She must fight to stay alive and remember what she did to cause such horror. That sounds like Strange Darling to me. I mean, not exactly, but similar. This has a still gallery, trailers, additional footage, and Salvation trailers. It's directed by Francois Gaillard, and it's DVD. Last but not least, Babylon Berlin Season 4. This is a really cool show. I'm not caught up on it, but it's one of those shows that really is... like, we're living in the golden age of television right now, I guess. I think it got kicked off with The Sopranos, but it just keeps getting better and better and better, and now we have more shows that we can actually watch. You don't ask somebody what they do for a living anymore. You go like, what shows are you watching? And Babylon Berlin it's Germany in the 30s, and it's like Depression era, World War II, like the Nazi party thing is out there, and it's just really, really well done. It's a really great period piece. Let's see, what do the Wall Street Journal say? Triumphant, one of the best things ever in long-form television. So this is season 4. Kino Lorber's put out seasons 1 through 3. It's set in 1930s Germany, just after the global stock market crash. And that's the legacy of the Roaring Twenties still lingers, especially when business tycoon Alfred Nissen, who is funding the German military's return to dominance. That's cool. So it's Blu-ray. We've got, 4 episodes per disc. It's a 12-episode series. That's it. We did it. We didn't take an hour. This is September. Kino Lorber. Tons and tons of stuff. What have you seen? That's the important thing that I want to talk about. What have you seen? Have you checked out any of my commentaries yet? I don't hear from a whole lot of people about my commentaries. I would love to know that you guys are checking them out, that you're listening to them. I've got more. Got more percolating right now. That we'll be talking about soon. But I love these huge, I call them Look What Came Out videos. And that's, some of you guys only watch my Look What Came Out videos. And then you go like, all you do is make Look at What Came Out videos. I'm like, no, that's actually like 20% of what I do in a month. Check out some of the other stuff if that's all you know this channel for. Check out some of the deeper dives into how the stuff is made, the movies themselves. And that's why I'm urging you, like, let's talk about some of these movies. What have you seen? What have you discovered? We've got classics here. We've got documentaries. We've got international television shows. There's a lot to talk about here. I would love to do it with you. That's the call to action. Subscribe to this channel. You can leave thumbs ups. That supports this channel and the algorithm as it increasingly becomes harder and harder to get your stuff seen here. That's one way you can help. I don't lean on outrage. I don't lean on controversy. I don't call things out. I don't say, here's 20 things wrong with Babylon Berlin or whatever. Those are click tactics, and I do not use them because I think they are artificial. I'm counting on you connecting to what you see here, and then liking the video, commenting on the video, subscribing to this channel. If you don't become a member, you can do that through YouTube or through Patreon. There are exclusives. There are benefits to doing that. Most importantly, you are supporting an independent creator for a few dollars a month. And I do appreciate the many of you who have done that, the hundreds of you who have done that. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Take care. Till next time, I will catch you later.